anything that is more than the plan and the menu plan for the week, then it's at your cost. The bacon and everything that we did also last night. And what I see, I've noticed, which because I always go with my daughter, and what we've noticed, the cost was quite high. So maybe for those of you that live in New Zealand, the most economical, the most cheapest supermarket to go to, which offers the same thing, but really depends on the name and the chain of that supermarket. But one thing that I found last night, because I've never been to New World here in New Zealand or Australia, that was my first, and I must thank my husband, because he kept saying, no, I went to New World yesterday, it was really good. Like they had all of the stuff. And this is about 5 minutes drive from where we are, from where this Airbnb is. So we went here yesterday, and it's amazing. The difference in in cost. I wasn't checking every single item, but we were buying the normal thing that we usually buy, like the eggs, bacon, the sausage, the chicken, and all this offering that we did the last time. And we did exactly the same because we had 2 trolley full for each Airbnb. And when we came to the counter, to the cashier, and I just remembered when we were in Auckland and Pack and Save, when we did go through with all that for the whole time that we're going to be here. I mean, we're going to be here for 9 days. At that time, we were there for 10 days, like 1 day extra. The cost. It cost us like nearly 1,000 or 900 to 1,000 after we did those trolley back in Pack and Save. But for here, that one trolley on its own was 400 something, and for the cost of the 2 Airbnb was still lesser than the cost of 1 Airbnb items and meal offering that we did. So there was quite a saving, a real saving on our part. And those are the little things and the little tips that you can find out, that you can do. They can help you plan your family. And some of you do your travel that comes with your work. Your travel because of your work. And just check which travel makes you stay longer in that country, so you can extend a bit and take your family with you. And I know I spoke a little bit on the airline stuff, working for the airline, when you fly or when you go into duty travel, things are provided, accommodation are provided, like it's being paid for. So try and take your family with you, because you expose them to this experience, and that they can do that. For me, that is my excitement, just to see somebody who haven't done, and to see that added knowledge or added info into their life, that they know something that they never known before. That excitement I find, and it's really quite interesting too, because we assume that everybody's on same, but when you actually have those experiences with certain people or where you are, then it really make you appreciate your exposure, and also really pushes you to share the little you have to benefit others around you.
And nanumanikim ni do legal program. Saya ni tadi tugani wa bibi na walesi sa tuna bikorkoro. Ni do tali kama disi barwe wa mo, pero wa mo tugani no limu Hamilton, ya mo wa Waikato. Na tini na chief ko sana na mga area mo. Ito chukina ni ko wa mo tugani bikemi. Pero kita mo tagatu na travel sa non dala ko. Dula kami bingo kaya kasi na Orang Malaysia ni mana ilapo, kemana sini kadar ni tuan-tuan ni, dona kamu nak mempelai tak mai, pelai tak nak bilang lako. Sebelum mana nama isu, saya mikir dah tu lebih korkor, dah nama tahu ni. Kemana sini pelai tak kan, ibu tu tu. Kemana sini pelai tak nak kawan nak mulia, kau nak kata apa? Kau usah mulia. Dengar kau biar boleh kita nak kah, untuk mulia. Sawit tu na numupa sila ilaw ko ta mai naman sari kabibi na numutu maka na numula ko na banua sila numu besiko na numu ko na tina bila tu na kakero no toro tu ani do mandanga to ma ko kalau bango mo biu na bono biti berkambo no pasport betiko na bono to betiko kina tu ngana bono to tiko kina no pasport bala no na kene udah travel kina iko kila na tiko kina be no mutale bono ko so na kai do bila da mo gale era buno kin do ko kina ena motuka mandanga so no sa do no motuka do na tal ka sa ba di na vida na ma sa che ero che voglio latte mai trofi na ora che so so kina na latte me che ero distribuita che na me ko kina latte che non mo ko na non mobile tu na taxi era taxi ka che di no ko e o je half an hour sai so ba okay taro ko ka ba na tu la sa okay mulai na taxi mo okay taro okay di ba taxi okay e do betaro do taxi na ro ge muli na campo do ya na mo ke to travel kina ya in the travel overseas the turmanwa go do tan na level of risk che bale na no munga garoni no mo bag la lai o si bag la lai na talboni sono quello che non le ndabi kina come no buka e tu sono na tan there are pockets behind the seat era un mule da kina Wadana kina na security areas uno kuna bitu kina na kake de tuna no muta e kuna biuta na de tuna na missing ya sono mo ne avesa na dua che magari bimbi na kaira era biukina na no bag na no telefoni se na no passport na tulinda iPad me come tuba e sono kai kuna do mule da bitu e na mo do ni che vostro travel e rambo io tipo na volvo che lo schedule o plan abbiamo che weekend for us that we are traveling overseas sometimes for the program that we go to Australia or come to New Zealand or go even British when you are first travelers most of the time that we miss out on little things and can be very costly so na mo na garoni che va ko tipo babalani weekend uno che dopo la cucina mi dava giù non mi perdico sono non in dopo una motoca e roni vorrei motoca che tu sai su come volevo e sono acabare uno di America sono andato tant'altra se tu tanto mai erdo mai che lagi per il passport vuole sono kai di che weekend e non da travel tipo travel light e una metti una listing che volevo che magari non è un telefono non la chiediamo turchina non la chiediamo la kina e dobbiamo but io una che la si riclami dovrebbe richiedere excitement sono una che è too busy e dopo una che da dove va messo la e ma cosa dalla e sono una che sa duringa e da tipo mai piccola che non raki di som che non raki di mondo che non raki di sasara sono una che da dopo lei sono qua e dopo a marigata tutta la campo non da la quella di quei buoni sono una da quei politico e da si vede da expiry date da quel mai io parla che tutto il sangue usa quel voluti o che to una carta di visa si tutta la cavo me ko una carta sabe dia sabe se no so na tips di travel na binaka weekend na hospital mo taka ko ka roti ko na tuki na hospital mo and mataka ni sin ko we will get to weekend for those of you that we are watching this program Family Table Talk and as you travel together as families Radin was sharing the Airbnb going to a supermarket and buy a lot of things that they are very cheap rather than going and eat out or go to fast food.
I mean, you do your meal plan, do your meal plan and identify. So what we have done, like if it's for breakfast, if it's bread, butter, Vegemite, or if it's going to be a full breakfast of egg and bacon with sausage, all those things. So you have to write out your menu and then you go out and itemize the list and that's what you buy. Because you're buying the list to the menu. Don't go and buy without the menu because when you buy without the menu, then you assume that you need that, you need that, you need that. So your assumptions can be very costly. So it's good to plan out your meals, and not only during travel, even at home. We do this at home. I mean, I do this at home. Even for home, you don't really necessarily need to travel to be able to do this kind of planning. And this is a small planning that helps you save your finances. This is a small planning that helps you save a few dollars from your grocery list that can go towards your travel saving or can go towards any other thing that you would like to achieve. So even at home, write out your meal plan for the week or for the month. So, like at home, what we do a roster for the week for the whole people, children that live in our house, except the adults, and they are asked to do all that. So, apart from that, in the roster for duties at home, then we have the roster for devotion. As and when we have a devotion, who's going to be the one who's going to be leading, making sure that everybody's going to be seated and be the person responsible on what transpire through their devotion. Because it's family table talk, I would like to share the minute details when it comes to family, because sometimes we take for granted that it's easy to do or everybody's doing it. But if you haven't done it, then at least it's food for thought for you that you can take it on and implement it in your family. So we have those type of rosters, the duty roster, the devotion roster, and also the meal plan. The meal plan we work together with my daughter-in-law. So in a week, she will be sending me, the menu, recommended menu that she does for the whole week. And when she sent me for the whole week, and then if I say, okay, this is good to go, or you switch this, there's too much oily food there, can you put in the boiled food? And then looking at the weather, if it's rainy season back in Fiji, then we'll increase more soupy food. Then, it can be soup chicken, it can be belly, boiled with lamb neck, it can be any other thing that as long as it's watery and more soup. And that's how I work with her. So through that menu, once finalized, and she'll take that meal plan for the whole week, and then she will send me back, the need list. So she will go through the pantry, go through the kitchen, check the crops and everything that we have, and then she'll get back and say, all these things are there. You just need these few items for this menu. And when we work together that way, like it really, really decreases. It makes a big impact on my finances because I'm working and sometimes I'm very busy. I don't even have the time to check all the pantry cupboards. I didn't even have, that time to go out and really check what the portions of meat that I still have in my freezer. So as and when I want food to be cooked, I'm working like without checking sometimes. So having her on board, which I'm really, really grateful, thank you, Nadia, for doing that for me. And she comes up with all these things. And on top of that, what we do catering as well for my TV, or the company that we work in. We prepare their meals we prepare their lunch for the 3 days. And that's when my daughter comes in, and she does her own menu, she does her own buying of her own ingredients that she does there. Then we have 2 weeks in a whole month that we do cooking for our mission team. We have our foreign divisions that send funds in, and we, through my daughter-in-law again, Nate, which I send her the funds, and she coordinates this for me. So whatever that we're having as a family for that week, we increase the volume or whatever that we're cooking to also cater for our mission people. And whether we are at home or whether we are in Fiji or whether we are out of the country, that cooking goes on regardless. So we'll find people to come and help us with it. We'll prepare everything or we'll get everything done just to do that. So that's I want to share that if you don't have a meal plan for the week and you're just cooking, kaya basta ganito na nakangay, tipo na kanga available sa dolang na fridge. Say, di ko to kanaka, dalibuli namin to na to, evanto yan na sequence, di kayo na nakaba na may singa, kiba kayo kontabe, kiba kamadali ko na kabawag yan, and doon na matawa. Try and note down the expense, keep all the receipts of everything that you have done by working this way. And note down, what's the sell masina, sell na pateta, wala nga meron na pateta, meron na kg, doon na kg pateta, wala nga niko, tapos may matako, wala nga meron na kg, may buli-buli pa kalala, na rice, na suka. Nakakili ko wala, wala mo ito, someone na recipe gawa, just note down the money that you use for the day. And then, try and plan, like I'm telling you today. Try and plan. You plan that for the whole week. If it's hard for you to plan for 2 weeks or for the month, try 1 week. And depending on how you get paid, whether it's weekly, fortnightly, or monthly. So after you write that down and you buy in bulk, if you have to be eating rice 2 times in that week, then you'll have to buy that rice that fits, buy in bulk, buy a 5 kg, or if you can afford it, buy a 10 kg. So what I do at home, I buy big containers. These big containers for those of us who live in Fiji, and in Suva you can find them at New World or even to some of the Chinese shops. In Suva, we have this nice Chinese shop that have a lot of little good household items. It's called Dexin, Dexin. And the one that we go to is at Garden City in Suva. You can get all these cheaper versions that when you bring home, you just label them. I know I've mentioned this, I've talked this before, but I want to bring it again today. And you label them and you keep them in your pantry. So if you buy a 10 kg rice or flour or 5 kg, you put them into this container. Just pour them in the container, seal them up properly, label it, and then you work from there. So with that 5 kg rice, it's amazing. When you buy a 5 kg and you get out with 2 meals maybe with rice, so that way, there will always be still leftover. But if you buy little bits of 2 kg and 2 kg, the leftover here is very little. The tendency of just throwing it to the pot to be all cooked or just sitting idle on the shelf, and then you buy another one. You forget about this one, so it's quite costly. You go boli balalai, you go back to kile lebu, you go boli balebu, lebu deka kene rongo ni 10 kg, 5 kg, go de kene la. You go vinda and go vinda kata kemena na motor na expense na bimat mawa, ko iko boli tipo nga enemistinga, ngayon tipo nga na balsa, siya na store ko leka na mo na tipo kina. Those shops or canteens that are closer to where you stay, sometimes or most times they are more expensive compared to if you go to the supermarket. So those are tips of saving money. Sometimes I can go, okay, I'm waiting for me to get this payout, or I'm waiting for me to get my refund, my tax refund, or I'm waiting. Like you look forward to these big things that will, like to you, this is my cake. I'm going to, save money from there, or this is a big money that's going to come my way. But that comes only once in a while, and maybe once in a whole year. But when you do something about your, your life habits and your shopping habits and your management of your funds every week, this brings a much more, substantial amount of saving compared to the one-off that you can just receive that you're so reliable on. And as you say, like what I said, if you have allocated maybe $100 or $200 a week for your shopping, use the same, put it in a separate account or in a separate, money box and work within that. So whatever money that you put there, that's the money that you need to be using for catering. I do that with my daughter-in-law because we do catering. So she has a small till, and when I send her funds, or I'll get her account and I said, okay, I'm transferring this. The money that has been sent to cater for the mission, I'm transferring to your account, for you to work with. And once she does that, she keeps, if I give her cash or money that is left from that week, she keeps it in this deal. So when we go on to the next one, she will be telling me the breakdown. This is what you have sent, got all of this, and this is the balance, and it's in the till. So, that money becomes the base for the next spend. Yeah. It's the way you manage, the way you handle. Already can deliver nila with the galingan. Kapag ko mag-open sa life. Okay, doon nga nagkaroon ang kinisama doon na mata. Doon nila believe. Di ko manage na kapag nakataman nila believe. Ese naging daw ara kami doon na kinisama so level. Yung mga kaya nila believe. But as you go and get promoted or you push yourself to study so you can get better pay. If you cannot manage well the little money that you're being, paid now, like $100 or $200 that you're getting out of your pay, you cannot manage that big money. Even when you get the big money, most of us, so take that, as food for thought for you today. You may be living overseas, you may be living outside Fiji. The same thing, applies. Live no. Don't come abroad. The things are very cheap. They are very cheap. The tendency to overbuy or buy things that they don't use, it's there because it's very attractive. I mean, you go past the shelf and then you are just tempted to buy.
Management is when you see what you need and what you have. See, that's how to manage what you have to meet what you need. And if we don't manage well, or if we want to live a life that is over what we have, that's where the problem comes in. So, how to manage, you must see what you have. More than a catch which are very in a cow under the biganity, can I catch you? But the Correct, orang orang masih baca, mentak kau ni bulu tu nabi buri, bertangan orang tu yang tu bulu tu bayar, orang tu yang tu bulu tu bayar, malah punya enda nabi tak tikina. Bertan, isi tu tu apa kait tu nanda. Kembali, good management is when you use what you have in accordance to what you need. You know, what we have, and we live according to what we want. We just have to walk humbly and accept the fact of what we have, and we work from there. And we believe when we are faithful with the little things, then we can be faithful when we are getting promoted or getting more on what we have, and then we can little bit to do more on what we need. So that's where management comes in. And I like, because I travel a lot with her and also go to the shop with her, I'm just amazed of the management of the little things that we have, or what we have to make what we need. And I tell you, it's achievable. It's achievable. It can be done. And sometimes when we look at people travel and people, they have things. It's not because of what they have, what they achieve. It's their management. Kaya ba na nakakendaro may wawaya na tayo na wawaya na tayo na kamo kaya tayo na money. Sila wala tayo buku alam mo kung nakali elektriko kaya tumbunga. Wala ito na biwa kanikita kita sila mo matauta. Ningaw na kita mamaroy kina na mamangi dahil wato si mamangi. Masakal mamangi.
Mamangi
Menda mamaroy yang watua. Kaya na rin na kali elektrika na makahin tumbunga. Tumbunga may sewa nga makahin doon ren na kinala. Siya makahin doon na kami makurubita gitu ba. E non da do mamaroi, non da alma tua, e tu guarda non da magari attacchi me cookie na magasamsam. Hindi kila ke mga otolitite, separate goli, or even if we are overseas and we have a lot of money because of our pay, or even in Fiji, holding a good job. But if you don't manage well, after years of your work, after years of your achievement, what you have does not tally with what you achieve. But our experience na may lewo kilala kami, we kali yung talaga kiman mingle ba? Makaya so naman ito bigala tinaka lewo token na kinaka na may roka. Pero bigala ito balta na makaya lele ito na ni mamarwi kinahal matua. And nakikimula ni inonta tiko and pura-pura na bicara natural. Ele una bicara itu ke, bukan do bitu bicara tapi dah low rate mata na lewu. Bukan do low rate mata na lewu. Gona kaya na bukan sul pulu kina. We give everything on what the people see in public. But we must always focus on our family in our private life and what we do privately in the secret place and maro itu pembuli and donanona. And the beauty one ready na tabata. Balik bulit marui kina mo. We don't have mo to ito na kaya pa kalu. Ito binakata siya, di ko alam mo managing well. Ero ni so si karon kalu. Yan balik ron ra alam mo to kina no na garam na kalita. Na bakit do na kaya basika. Yan to kinabubo.
We cannot be that affected. We've lived with the Indo-Fijians. Kita mata pakai kenta, lalu kita mata pakai kenta. Kita belajar nonton bola, itu kakek dinawasi. It's like whatever you have is for everyone. It's supposed to be for everyone. And if you don't give it or if you don't share it, then you become it's like okay, can I sebenarnya menandai juga bahaya, selama masih tetap dipikirkan. And yung ko, resenta ka din karama na kalo and garama. Yan nandoon ang kaori na nomor 2. they're very wise, the management of their life from a very early age. I mean, I've always had friends, individual friends from school, high school, and
You see,
to see, and then even at work, I've always had them as friends, and I love that. Belet na kaya sa na logo ng bula batikira. Belet yung na navarro ni non rambula. They can be your friends, but when you're going by your meal, we are if I take Fijians with us, and then only gonna feel okay, my kailan dalam kita na lunch.
tuloy nila.
Tuloy kita, may ito sa
Hindi mo na serve.
we can when you go for their lunch. And don't worry na friends with Virabo. Which for me it's a very good learning, very good exposure. And then I learned that. So when I go with them, or when from school to workplace, semi-curly, volleyball.
Hindi mo sana yung talaga.
Claro, se me dá buquê, me dá what do you want? I said, it's okay, just get it on, just get it on. And I said, sure. I said, I'm good. So, and then, okay, you offer, that's it. And then also, like, if they're going into, to buy, like, sabole sa mga camera, boleh nak that kind. And for me, it was good learning. But seeing on the top. But I'm really glad that around of you, it just like I was ni bola meba, I was saying susu maka lele say susu ba ito okay. Around go fitting na mula but then bolon do and I know, I asked them about how they do this saving. So with the way that I was brought up, I would say was good, but being exposed to these people and asking them questions and learning from them, I learn more. And I learned more that it's amazing that when you assumed, that they are, but it's just the way that they handle their little finances that come by. And this is one good example. We have the company that I was speaking for before, basically airport, it's an airline. And when we go for meetings, from the hangar to the airport, and they have the airport car park fees. So you take in a company car, and the company car has got a card for the fuel or whatever that comes with it, but it doesn't have anything to do with the car park fees. So if you go there and have your meeting for 2 to 3 hours, that's it. You come, you pay. And for me, like if I come up there, that's it. Come give back the key to whoever's handling, or give it back to the PA of that GM's car. And that's it. Because I know I took it up for the meeting and I used it for the meeting and it was my meeting, then I paid for the fees. And one time, because that was normal for me, one time I was actually standing there with this personal assistant and just standing, I was standing behind her at her counter. Then I saw this, senior manager came in. We claim whatever you use in the company. For that time, we use Petty Cash. I think some companies are still using it. It's Petty Cash voucher, and then you have to attach the proof of your spend. So I was sitting there, then I saw this. She came in. She just gave this Petty Cash voucher, and she said, "Jessica, I need that money. I need that money today, if you can." So I look at and I said, "Oh, okay." I look at Jessica, I have to quickly do this. And I look at her and said, Jessica, sorry to be, it's none of my business. Is there what I'm looking at? What you looking at? And she said, what are you looking at? I said, it's voucher. Yeah? This voucher of $1.96. What is it? He said, it's for the parking fees.
At the airport.
At the airport. Okay. Like all the parking that you go and take it for the meeting, you can claim that. Because you didn't go there for your own leisure. You didn't go there for you to just meet up your friends. You went there for meeting that is pertaining to the company that you work for. And you can get there. I said, I've been going to that meeting, to that airport and taking the company car parking there for the last 2 years. I've never claimed anything. Like, it's mind-boggling. I'm looking at this, my payment voucher, it's $1.96. And so I came and I followed this man, and China said, sorry, I know it's none of my business, but I want to ask you, do you feel a payment voucher for $1.96? She'll be watching me today and she will know this day. And she came to me and said, yeah, so. And I said, it's only $1.96. And she looked at me, she said, Rachel, every dollar adds up to $10, and every $10 adds up to $100, and every $100 adds up to $1,000. If you cannot look after the $1 and claim and take ownership of that $1, how can you make your $10 and how can you make your $100? That got to me. You know, because she turned around, like for me, I was trying to indirectly tell her, wait, when take back your payment voucher, take it out. Your petty cash for a voucher. Because it's like $1.96. But the response she gave me, dawned on me that I was losing out because it's just us, PGN. All sarote, kunilaga, set. Set. But hindi ko nang damulat kinawagi kami kinawagi ko kay Dio kaya alam na to pag-discuss sa kanila Mrs. Patel. Sana sa kami ng kasilip. Ito Mrs. Patel, kalau to mo na. Ni was pas mang ko nakabago. Au sa